Welcome back, San Diego. You are listening to Josh, Shavon, and Chris right here on the Market Pulse. And we are in studio right now with Jody Jacobs, CEO of the Girl Scouts of San Diego. She has taken this role of CEO after a distinguished career in the U.S. Navy, where she achieved the rank of a captain. I know you also met your husband while serving, and you've been together a very long time, and you're still married to this day. Do you see other women who were in the military who had similar experiences as you?
Yes, of course. There were no role models for me at all. I was always the first or the most senior. Occasionally, you'd run into somebody that you could learn from, but we cut our own paths. And in those days, the early days, in fact, you could not have a family as a woman. So those laws have dramatically changed. The military is very, very family friendly now. So women do have life balance. They have families, and the best, most outstanding women in the military really, really plan around those deployments, especially for the active duty Navy. When they're at sea, they're going to have family plans for their kids. But men have the same problem too. You know, they have to work around their family obligations.
So you said that there was no role models for you. What was that like? Did that even come up as an issue of, oh, maybe I can't do this, or was that ever a concern?
It really wasn't. I was very, very fortunate and blessed to have many, many male role models that saw a spark in me and fostered and encouraged me. So the egalitarian men leaders in my life made the big difference. And certainly with 15 different assignments, there were a couple of dinosaurs out there, but for every Cretan, there was 5 egalitarian men that helped me along the way.
And did you have to seek them out, or were they easy to come to you? Or
I think a bit of both. And one of the things I liked best about the Navy is with the cycle of rotation, that either you or your boss is gone next year. So if you got a bad one along the way, there was a transfer you could look forward to, which in a way made the military a much more interesting and exciting career, because you can imagine a young woman in a firm today. If the boss doesn't like her, what's her alternative? She has no exit strategy.
Not as quickly as every year to 2 years having a new boss. So would you say that today is very different for women if they want to enter into the military but also have a career as a family? They can do that?
You have to work at it. I think that in any career, whether it's a military or a Girl Scout professional, you have to set your priorities and be very disciplined about reaching those goals. Nothing is going to be handed to you.
What would be some of your advice to women who are thinking about, getting into a career in the military and also wanting to have a family?
Well, I absolutely loved my 27 years in the military. I did not have a family, so that made it a little easier. But I certainly know now many people that do have families, both men and women, in the service.
So we got an email in from Darlene, and she asks, is there anything you know now that you wish you had known back then?
Oh, yes. I would say that the choices that young women make today to close doors, a big mistake. For example, it really distresses me to see girls give up on math, science, and technology in school, because when you give up on science when you're 12 years old, you have shut a lot of career doors behind you. So I really encourage my girls to stay in those difficult and challenging but employable skills. So don't close doors behind you. Keep your options open.
We're in studio right now with Jody Jacobs, CEO of the Girl Scouts. If you've got a question, you can email us, marketpulse@lpl.com. So what has been some of the best advice that you've been given in your career?
I think along the way, treating people with dignity is a Girl Scout value, and it's something that was always a military value. That a story is treating people like Waterford glasses, where you use it and then you polish them and you put them back in a velvet glove. People are not Dixie cups that you just use once and throw away. And I've always made it a practice to stay in touch with people. Over the years, I now have 400 people on my Christmas card list, and every single year they get a handwritten note from me, and it's paid back personally and professionally for me. So treating people with dignity is important, regardless whether you're a kid or a grown-up or a professional. People are very, very important.
Has there been anything that's really surprised you the most with your career, whether from the military or now in the Girl Scouts, that has just been, I did not know that was what was expected, but that's great?
I think it's been fun. I've had such fun opportunities that every single day I get up and go to work happy because I'm in a happy business. I frankly admire executives that are working with Alzheimer's or children that have been beaten up or diseases. That's just so hard. I work by making sure that girls, 30,000 of them, will have great opportunities and they will not have glass ceilings or brass ceilings to deal with. So it's a very, very happy business.
So it's 100 years in the making. What's up for the next 100 years for the Girl Scouts?
Yeah. It's exciting to be part of an organization that is so well revered in our country. Is that everybody, when you think of Girl Scouts, I call it the awe and the awe of Girl Scouts. When somebody says they're a Girl Scout, they'll have a smile on their face. They'll remember, that's fun I had as a Girl Scouter. But when you think about this powerful organization that has made a difference in the life of 60 million women in America, that's awesome. So I want to have another 100 years with another 60 million women that are making the world a better place through Girl Scouting.
60 million. Is there a place that the women that have gone through the program, these 60 million that have already affected their lives, do you track where they go after they're out of the program? How do you know what they've been up to?
Yeah, I wish we had a better tracking system, but frankly, we women move around a lot and we change our names. And when we graduate from Girl Scouts, we don't necessarily wear a little trefoil on our business suits. So, the best way I think of identifying where those women are is finding out where the successful women are. Because when I speak to women's groups, professional women's groups, I always start out with how many of you were Girl Scouts? And it is consistently 66% of successful women were Girl Scouts. So they're out there, and this is the year to celebrate and let us know where you are, because I say to each of you, happy birthday, Girl Scout.
And you have a big event coming up on October 7th, a 5K. If people want to learn more, they can go to sdgirlscouts.org. But it's going to be a great way for people that maybe were a Girl Scout, that maybe haven't connected to the organization in a long time, can come back and get excited about it and maybe become a volunteer. You guys are looking for volunteers, right?
You're absolutely right. That's our number one challenge is getting volunteers, because we have a long list of Girl Scouts, the girls that want to be Girl Scouts, but we need the troop leaders and volunteers to help them.
So how can people help?
Well, time, talent, and treasure is very important for our organization, as any charity. We have a end-of-year appeal coming out, and we're behind on our goals for the year-end revenue. So helping us by just supporting Girl Scouts would be very, very important. Time and talent, we really appreciate our volunteers. That's how your listeners can help Girl Scouts. Find a passion, find some way of giving back to our community, and you set a great example for our kids.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We have been in studio today with Jody Jacobs, CEO of the Girl Scouts of San Diego. If you want to learn more, you can go to sdgirlscouts.org, and you can find out about the 5K. You can find out how you can get your daughter or loved one enrolled in the program. They've got scholarships as little as $12 a year. So if you've been trying to find a great way to get your daughter involved in the community without having to spend $100 a month in all of the other camps out there, the Girl Scouts is a great place to do that. You're going to learn skills that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. Again, sdgirlscouts.org is the website. You've been listening to Josh, Shavon, and Chris right here on the Market Pulse, ESPN 1700. You can find us here on Wednesdays, 2 to 3 p.m., interviewing San Diego's top CEOs on the CEO Show.
SIPC.